everyone. Welcome to Divine Messages with Max Ryan and Polly Wirum. That's like a tongue twister. So we are both intuitives, and each week we have one or two guests where we share with them any messages that come through, and it's always fun, always enlightening, and we never know. It's completely unscripted, so we never know how it's going to happen, and the words just fly out of our mouths. And the cool thing is, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it later on in the leisure of your day, there will be messages for you, because the messages that come out of us, we will have universal messages for everybody. But frequently, if you happen to stumble on this show, there's something in it for you. So, like I said, I'm Polly Wirum. My website is gateways2peace.com, and that is with the number 2. So, gateways2peace.com. I'm an intuitive, and I do coaching. I like to do like the soul purpose coaching, that fun stuff. And here's the lovely Max Ryan.
Hello, Polly. Good to see you. It's good to see you, everyone. Welcome to the show. I just want to show this. See, I have this like pretty graphic around me, but Polly, we're working on her new computer, so we're going to get that graphic. So I just wanted to show this because I'm all about supporting. So here's the deal. This is Polly's. Polly's website is gateways2peace.com. Gateways2peace.com. Just wanted to show that to you. So welcome. My name is Max Ryan. I'm a spiritual teacher, a law of attraction trainer and coach, and I'm an intuitive. And what I do, and what I love to do is to help people to move in their life from an orientation of negative results and craziness and unsettled feelings and, of course, of fear. And I like to help them to move in their life to really a fundamental shift to positive results, to feeling in the flow, to feeling love. So it's all about love with me, and I do that by private coaching. I do that by doing periscopes every day. We'll talk about that in a second. And I also work with people privately, and of course I do these shows and I do these readings. So I am all about raising the vibration of the planet, and the only way to do that is to start with ourselves first, and then to really share that one person at a time. And that's why I love this show so much. And Polly's right. We don't really know anything about our guests except their names, and they did write in that they would like to be on the show with us, and so we know that about them, so we don't know much more, and that's what's so fun about the show. It's fun, and it can be serious, and it's just messages to help us move forward in our life and see what a block is and see how spirit might be able to help with that block. So once again, my website is attractpositiveresults.com, and you can go there for anything that I do. So that's it. That's what I do. And Polly, you want to say anything else before we get into the show?
No, because my little mind is already clicking.
Okay, good. All right. So what we like to do here is we like to do a little meditation, energy shifting at the beginning. So I invite all of you and our incredible, beautiful women today, Ariel and Amy, to close our eyes and just get centered. So let's get centered and take a big deep breath. Dear Mother, Father, God, Divine Source, Universe, all that is, we come together today with open hearts, open minds, and an open spirit. We allow today to be a time of love, a time of support and guidance for Ariel and for Amy and for everyone watching here. We ask that in this moment we are more deeply and fundamentally connected to our source. We ask that in this moment everything that transpires in this show is lifted up for the highest vibration of love. And you take a deep breath. And we say thank you very much. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen. All right.
Max, do you mind if I do like a quick, you know how I actually did a prayer before we started? Do you mind if I do a quick little prayer?
Sure. Sure.
Thank you. Just because I feel like there's more there's some stuff I need to hear.
Sure. Sure.
So everybody take a nice big breath in and release. So these messages that are coming through are all about working and working through old habits that aren't serving you, working and working. And this is also to do with working, finding new skills and finding a way to use your skill set that hasn't been used in the past. And it's stepping into new parameters. And so it's all about working, but it's totally a different type of work. It's all about, it is about working, but it's not about the work that you've been thinking about. And I feel like that is for both of you and probably more, but we'll get more on that. Thank you, Max.
Sure. Now, I just want to start with this myself, actually, and just so you all know is that sometimes overall divine messages come for everyone, and I want to say this because it's actually something that that just kind of came up for me before we came on today. There is a message from, thank you. So there's a message that's all about taking responsibility for your life in the world, taking responsibility for what you do, how you show up, your words, your deeds, and your actions. So it's important for us, okay, thank you. Wow. And how you communicate that. I have a lot of stuff going on with my mouth right now, and it's interesting because it's about how we are communicating with our words, how we're communicating and taking responsibility in the world and being part of a whole, and it's very interesting because something just came up for me earlier personally, but Source is definitely telling me in this moment that that's not just a personal thing, that there is that in this the message today for all of us is that it's a question, actually. How are you taking personal responsibility for the whole? How are you taking personal responsibility for your neighbors, for your country, for your family, for everyone? Because every single thing that you do and say and how you're using your thoughts are affecting everyone else, and we all kind of know that to be true. But it is a time right now, especially right now, that we are all coming together in a very significant way. And this coming together, I have to use my hand, sorry, this coming together of all of us, it is only happening because we are taking responsibility, and we need to be even more aware of the responsibility we're taking for ourselves so that we can fit into the whole. It's not just like, because it doesn't work if one person's like, me. It doesn't fit. But if you're saying, what's my part that fits into the whole, that's so important because it's not about you. Wow, God, that's interesting. So Spirit's telling me it's not about you. You have to let go of you, your needs, what you need, and all of that stuff. But you'll have to follow your intuition so that you can fit into the whole as a perfect puzzle piece. I know this sounds very esoteric right now, but I think that there are people right here, right now, and maybe it's people here on the panel that need to understand, myself included, that need to really get this idea that it's not about us. It's about how we are meshing together in as a whole. It's almost like that. It's almost like when you turn a rug. Thank you. I'm seeing a show. When you turn a rug up on top, has all these individual little fibers, but when you turn it under, they're all connected. We're being asked to see how we're all connected. Connect with that underlying connection. That's funny. Connect out in that underlying connection first, and then your individuality will shine even more. So thank you. So yeah, so my guide's going, well, that's it, and I think that's a really, yeah, thank you. So he's saying that's a very important message for quite a few people right now. That, thank you. I'll just say it again. It's not about you. It's how you fit into the whole. So know who you are. Know which fiber you are, so that you can connect with the whole. Yeah.
Thank you. So I have something for both of you, and it is interesting because it is kind of to do with work for both of you. But Amy, I'm going to start with you. So what I see, or the visions that I was shown, and at first I wasn't sure who it was for, are like red high-heeled pumps, like so that you would wear like to work. I see them like professional, but you only have one on. You're taking the other one off, and you're not so sure. It's like you're in between. Do I want to work professionally? Do I want to give this job up? Do I want to seek a more? It's something about a professional work. You can unmute yourself. You could. It's something about this kind of in between of deciding your professional life. And I also see you. You know, when Max was talking about it's not just you. I see you like in your house, walking down like walking in a corridor or whatever, and kind of having your head down and really kind of almost pensive, I would say, pensive and kind of figuring out your path or what you really want to do. Like you're really, does this make sense to you? Or are you figuring out a different work thing for you? And is it that you want to leave the corporate world? Because I actually saw a briefcase also. So I saw the red high heel pumps in the briefcase. So do you want to leave the corporate world, or are you having a hard time leaving it, or what's the scoop there?
I have a hard time leaving because my current job allows me to live, but I would really like to do something else. Yeah,
because I see your other foot is barefoot. By the way, your other foot is barefooted. And the other side of you allows you to be a lot softer. A lot, I guess, you know, the word I would have to say is less calculating, you know, and you feel more freedom. So, I mean, this is something that we can figure, you know, if I were doing a one-on-one reading with you, I'd spend more time on this to really figure it out, because I feel like you need to be able to marry in, you know, what you get from I'm going to call it a corporate job. I have no idea what it is, but that corporate job, and then because you have this real... I would have to say, a free spirit, even though right now you're not possibly able to really enjoy that, but you do have this free spirit. And so somehow marrying the two, like I don't know if it's like writing children's books or what it is, but it's marrying the two where you can express, it's like you're not expressing yourself fully enough. So you've got to find a way that you can still be working in working and earning an income, but expressing your individuality and expressing artistic and expressing, you know, that lovely self that is you that needs to be expressed. I mean, it's like the part of you that shines needs to be expressed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Now I know Max is going to like be, you know, jumping on this also.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Amy, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm
great. Yeah, it's interesting. I picked a few cards for you, but I also I got to jump on this. I agree completely with what Polly is saying, that there's a trepidation going on. There's a trepidation. There's a period of like, oh, I'm not sure, and you're in this in between place, and you're off kilter because of the. That's so funny. I just got shown a picture of Marilyn Monroe. That's so funny because do you know that Marilyn Monroe? It's so random. Marilyn Monroe used to always have one heel that was 1 inch shorter than the other heel, so that she could always walk like this. She was always a little off balance, but that was her trick of how she looked so sultry. But it's interesting because you're a little off balance. You're a little like, a little off. And you're sexy like Marilyn Monroe. But I did pick this card, and I'm going to come up with this other thing. I picked the Ten of Swords inverted. The Ten of Swords inverted. Do you know about the tarot?
I do, but I don't know about that card.
Okay, so the Ten of Swords, when it's inverted, it means that it's a time of advancement for you. Because if you look at it this way, it's pretty painful. But when it's turned upside down, it is about this time, like you're pulling, you're consciously pulling the blocks out of your way. It's kind of like you're pulling, your mindset starting to change, and I have to talk about health. Health is a big thing for you. You're shifting your health. You're shifting a lot of things. You're pulling it out. So it's definitely a period of advancement for you, for sure. It's a period right now that if you really kind of just sat back with it, you could really start flying. Does that make sense to you? Okay, you might not know about the flying part, but are you in the place, Amy, of kind of like going, well, that doesn't work for me, and this doesn't work for me, and you're kind of pulling things out of like clearing the plates, clearing the deck. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
In relationships, in mindset, in maybe even your physical world.
Yeah, all of it.
Good. And I have to say, one of the things I feel very strongly for you is there's something for you in moving forward. I don't know what this means, but my guide keeps telling me health, health, health. Meaning, moving forward, you are more like, it's like things around the body, around what you eat, around all that stuff is very interesting to you. You're very interested in your physical well-being. Is that true, Amy?
Yes.
Are you vegetarian, vegan, yoga, that kind of stuff?
Runner, no gluten, no dairy, no sugar, kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's really important for you. I'm very connected to your body. Your body feels so strong, and it feels like there's, and I don't know what this means, there's gold in your body. And I don't know if that means, I don't know if you're thinking, oh, I want to start to blog about healthy living, or I want to teach yoga, or I want to do something about gluten-free living. I don't know. There's something around that. Does any of that kind of resonate with you?
Well, I wanted to start making food for others, nutritious food. Like at work, I'm going to start introducing a healthy bar to sell at work.
Oh, my God. That's so perfect for you. I can't even tell you because, like you can see, I wrote. And don't look at that part because I wrote Amy, health, 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 health. And I really believe if you go in this direction, that's what this says. It's really a period of you readjusting, and then this could really be a good thing for you. I feel that people really trust you in that area. They trust you. They go, wow, she's an awesome woman. You've got a great vibe. And they will trust you. And I think that, I'm just going to tell you, I feel very strongly, if you go in that direction in the health and wellness world, you're gonna do well. You're gonna do well.
Okay, thank you.
And I feel like this is the beginning of the shift. This is the beginning of taking the other shoe off and getting on your feet and going, okay, I'm going to go this way. And one more thing is that this scares the hell out of you. It really scares the hell out of you because I get the strength part upside down. You feel like if you really fall into this, you're going to kind of feel weak. But just know this. You're going to actually be much more strong than you are now. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
And I have to say that the creative, doing something creative is really, because that's putting your energy into it. And then I just want to ask you a question. Do you know who the sandy-haired guy, like light brown-haired guy is? Kind of short hair and it's kind of swept across. Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay, well, I see. Okay, what are you going to say?
I used to know someone that looked like that, but we're not.
Okay, because what I see, I don't know why I'm seeing him, but I see you in front of him, like he's kind of behind you and to the side, and you stepped away. And so I was just curious if it was like in a relationship that you're in right now that you stepped away from, and you're, because whoever it is still connected to you. It's kind of behind you, and what is, I mean, whoever it is, I have to say, like I see you in front of them and to the, like they're kind of behind you and to the side. And so it shows me that there's space between the two of you. And so I was wondering if it was somebody that you're in a relationship right now that you're totally, because you're not looking at them at all. Like, you're looking forward and they're behind you. So I was just curious about that because sometimes when I'm shown that, I don't necessarily think, I mean, if it ends up being somebody in the future, I would just say that they're supportive of you because they're watching you. They're behind you. But I'm wondering if it's somebody from the past that maybe you'll hear from or something, because just because the way I see them in relationship to you. Mm. So just kind of, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But it's like a light-haired, sandy-haired guy. It's definitely athletic type. Mm. But almost to me feels like college-y. Like almost, yeah. So, maybe you'll hear from him again or something. Who knows? Mm. But I do agree, like when I was saying, like the shoe, the one red shoe off and the other barefoot, whatever, to show your creativity, because you're super powerful and super strong, but you don't want to just you don't want to just be super powerful and strong, right? Mm-hmm. You want to share this wonderfulness in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Okay. Yeah. So Amy, my guy just asked me to ask you about your mom. About your mom. What's going on with your mom?
Sorry. She is really stressed out right now. My dad has Alzheimer's, and she's taking care of him, and they've sold their house and they're moving, and so she's been really stressed in getting the house ready and taking care of him at the same time. And my sisters and I have been going there to help when we can. Yeah. But she's really stressed out and overwhelmed.
She really is. I mean, while you were talking and everything, I just got this whoosh of like, whoa, something needs to shift. And I just feel and it's interesting because I feel like this card actually is kind of applying to her too. Bless her soul. Bless her soul. She really is trying to keep. I'm sorry to make you cry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That she's really feeling weak. She's really feeling like she needs a lot of support right now. She feels like she's a great woman. There's a lot about her that's really amazing. She feels like she's kind of losing her honor. She's losing her honor because there's something about how has to. It's kind of like she's being tested about her pride, about about like just putting her pride in on the shelf for a second, because she's a very proud woman. She's a very proud woman. She's a very hard worker, and she's very much like even though she's a very sweet person, there's something in her that's very kind of like stoic. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And right now she's really having to take that stoic part and go, okay, it's got to go over here because it's just gonna crumble her. The more stoic she is in this situation, the worse she feels. So really, she wants to, yeah, that's interesting. Okay. What's her name?
Linda.
Linda.
Or Frances Linda, but she goes by Linda.
Yeah, poor thing. I just feel so bad for her. Are you all going to be able to help her so that she can actually literally, and I don't even know if she can really do this because your dad is like the light of her life, and so it's hard, but she does really need to just like go away for a day or two, to get away, to just like go somewhere. Are you guys planning on doing that for her or something?
We have suggested it, but she keeps putting it off, doesn't feel like now's the time. Or she's just really resistant to our help or to our suggestions.
Yeah, her pride. Remember, that was the pride thing too. But boy, she really does need a break. She does need a break. And I feel like, thank you. I feel like, you know what, Amy? I feel like she's going to end up going, okay, yeah, you know what? Just give me one day where I can go get a massage or go do something for herself, because she really does need that right now. I think that she's going to end up doing that in the next couple weeks to a month. She's going to end up going, okay, you know what? I do need to just get away from this for a little while. She's going to be fine, but she's really going through her. It's kind of like what's happening with you. I mean, your dad and her really did decide on this together before they came into this lifetime. Does that make sense? And it's kind of like she's getting the test of her life right now. Yeah. This is why, on some level, this is why she came here. This is really why she came here, to really remember who she really is, to really remember what love is, to really remember all that. And it's coming in a big way. And I have to tell you, wow, I get the chills, that it's all either going to go fast or it's going much faster than you thought. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's going faster than anyone thought, and that's okay. And let me just, because this is pretty intense right now. I have to just pull into this right now. So your dad is, because the body's doing whatever the body's doing, but he's not his body, so he's doing his thing. Your dad is kind of like he really is. I don't want to sound callous, but from a spirit point of view, from his spirit, he's all good with it. He's kind of all good with it. He's like, yep, I'm all good with it. This is what's happening. It's all good. It's all happening. From his body point of view, obviously, that's not what's happening, but that's okay. That's okay. It's a beautiful, beautiful lesson for all of you. He always has, and you only have sisters?
Yes.
Yeah, he always has women around him. He's always had women around him. He's always had women around him. Even not just his family, but he's always been kind of the guy with lots of, I see lots of birds, women birds around him. He's very charming. He's really wonderful. Women just are like, hi. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. And I need to tell you this, from the spirit side, he is so cool. He's so okay with the whole thing. I don't know if you need to know that right now, but he's really like, yeah, it's all good. So I'll go to the next thing, and we're all gonna still be together. That's kind of his vibe is like that. He's not a very uptight person.
No.
He's a very go with the flow kind of. Yeah. He's the one that always makes everyone, and he's the one that. Oh, it's so interesting because your mother really depends on that in her life. Depends on him going, just chill, it's all good, don't worry about it. Because she's more like, we're going to make it happen. And she is now in that place where she has to let that part of her go. And she has to learn how to do what he's done for her for many years. That makes sense?
Yeah.
For all of you. I feel like it's a really beautiful time for all of you, actually. It's a beautiful time. She needs some rest. He's all good, and it's a really beautiful. I just see. This is what I see, and then I'll wrap up. Sorry, I just had to go here. I see the star of Christmas for all of you. Oh no, that it's a big revelation for all of you. It's a big revelation for all of you. This whole situation, you're all shifting and changing in ways that's kind of like a new birth. It's a new birth. That's what it is. It's kind of the star of Christmas coming to all of you in the most beautiful way. So I just need to share that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's really beautiful. And tell your sisters, make sure that your sisters know what I just said.
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That was nice.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay.
You never know what's going to come up on this show.
No, that's what's so wonderful. Is that, what comes up is what needs to come up.
That's right.
So, Ariel, what I got for you was go back to your starting point. You can unmute yourself while I'm talking. So go back to your starting point. And so what this looks like to me in my mind is that you have this purpose, like so what I see like in front of you is like this the bullseye type thing, and you went a little bit off the path you were on. You made a decision and it took you a little bit off the path you're on, and it's almost like you need to go back to your starting point. Does that make sense to you? Not really?
Well, it does. It does. I didn't think it was off. It was
So I feel that there was, okay, so I was seeing this, and then, but do get ready for big events. There is a big event coming. And so I was seeing this, how you got I mean, it's not like you're greatly off, but you made a choice that isn't the best fit for you. I guess that's the way to put it. There's an easier, it's like you need to step back, and there's an easier package. What I'm hearing, an easier package for you. I don't know what that is, but there's an easier way to get through this development. So something's developing in you. There's an easier way to get through it than the way you're doing it. It's it's really a simpler, more divine exploration than how it's unfolding right now. But so as I'm talking, it almost feels like you need to let go of something, and it takes you back, because it's really going back to the starting point and letting things unfold naturally.
So I feel like, I mean, because that's what my life has been. Really, I feel like I let go of, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it or not, but I let go of two enormous things in my life, and I'm in the process of legally getting rid of them. But I know what you're talking about, but it's already, it's happening. It's just legally I can't move it out.
And you know what? I feel like, so as we're talking and you're talking, I see that there's like literally like a block at where you're at right now. And so it's, I mean, it really is. So it's almost like, so when the legal stuff is taken care of and you step back to that starting point, there's a shift of energy, and it's going to get easier for you. Because you do have, you know, I'm hearing divine messages. You do have clarity of your skills. So you do understand. I'm hearing you understand your destination. I'm hearing you understand your purpose. I'm hearing that you really are clear on your objective in this life. And I'm seeing that with the, with the bullseye. So you're very clear on what your purpose is here for. You just veered off. But, that's no biggie, because it sounds like you're already unraveling it. And it's going back. But I do want you to remember the simplicity of discovering is what I'm hearing. Just simplicity of discovering. So as I say that, it's almost like allowing yourself to sit for a little bit and let things kind of, I'm hearing unravel. Let things just kind of unravel and see where it takes you.
I need to just jump in. Is that okay?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, so I have to show you some of the, I just make notes before. And the first thing I got for you, Ariel, is clarity of vision. Clarity of vision. Clarity of vision, I wrote there. You are someone that knows yourself so well, more than so many people that I've ever met, Ariel. You know yourself. You have a clarity of your vision. You have a clarity of your future. You have a clarity of what you want. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you've known it. It's morphed. It's shifted. It has changed. But it's kind of like you're like, this is where it's going to be. You're like, this is what's going to happen for me. I'm going to make it happen. And you have an incredible strength, an amazing strength within you. And that, and sometimes this is what's really cool about you, Ariel, is that it's very unassuming. A lot of people don't get that. They don't get that you are really clear about your vision, about where you're going. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And they underestimate you. They underestimate you. And I think that's they don't really get it. They don't get it. I can feel it from you. I could see it from you when I saw your picture. I could kind of feel it in the periscopes a little bit, but you have a very, very, and it's really good. It's really an amazing thing. Make sure, my guide is saying to me, like, it's like you have so much clarity, but you have to make sure that you are able to roll with the punches also. Does that ring true to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when the punches come, when life starts happening in a certain way, you sometimes can get like, that's not how it's supposed to go. Oh crap! Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to plan it out because your vision is so clear, which is fantastic. But you're gonna have to, like, it's kind of like you need to let the universe come in and help you a little bit more, so that you can just be like, yeah, I wasn't planning on doing that, but I'll do it. That sounds good. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? I have to tell you, it's funny because when Polly was going up, whatever you were saying, everything turned around or whatever, I had pulled this card which is this angel card called Raum, and it's all about upheaval for you. There's a big upheaval for you right now. There's a lot of shifts and a lot of changes. You have great success in your vibration. Great success in your vibration, but it's not going to happen until everything kind of like up. You have the world at your feet. There's so many great things that are going to happen for you, but there is this kind of like, and it could be this what you're talking about right now, but there has to be kind of an upheaval in something so that you can go, now I'm going to get there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's been the hardest part, is kind of waiting, not waiting, but the time frame hasn't been in my hands, because once I made the decision that I was going to leave both situations from, I guess I'll just be broad about it.
Yeah, you can say it. It's okay. You can say it. I mean, I don't know. Polly, is that okay?
Yeah, and I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm hearing 8 months. So I don't know if you're questioning the time that it's going to take, but I'm hearing 8 months.
Can I ask you this? Let me just ask you this before you say anything, Ariel. Was it leaving a business structure? There's a business structure that you left.
That's one. That's one of them, and I've been trying to legally get out of it for 2 years.
Let's say that again. You cut it out.
Oh, I am leaving a record label that I have been working on getting out of for 2 years, and they made it very difficult. Okay. And there are things that I haven't wanted to do that I've needed to do in order to get out of it, which was not part of my initial plan. And the second one is a relationship.
Okay. I'm
again
more...
legally.
Oh, legal. That's a legal thing too, the relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm actually, I want to kind of just jump on this for a second. The record label thing that you just said, I think that's what I was really tuning into, the upheaval in.
Yes.
I'm kind of, whatever. The upheaval is more in the record thing to me. That's what I'm feeling. But really, I really believe that it's... Go ahead.
Sorry.
What?
You said me too? I was agreeing with you. I said me too.
Yeah.
Me too, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's really more about that, and I will tell you, you have the world at your feet. There's going to be a lot of change. There's going to be, this is all going to work out, and maybe, you know what, Polly, maybe you're right. Maybe there's an 8. I'm not sure what it is, but I really do believe it's going to work out for you. And then it's true. You're then going to be in this place that's going to be like, okay, now it's like, everything's going to go. Because I picked 2 cards for you that I think that were really right up your alley and exactly right. The World card, which means a big, huge change, lots of changes, upheaval kind of thing, but it also means you can now do anything, like a freedom feeling. You're like, oh, well, I can have my own label, or I can go with them, or I can do this. That will be fantastic. And then I picked the Fool card. And the Fool card is not foolish. The Fool card is the beginning of the journey. It's like then you're gonna be like, okay, now. It's kind of like you. Can I ask you this? Have you been a professional for a very long time?
9 years, yes.
Okay. Well, you're pretty young, so it's a long time in your life.
Since I was 16 years old.
Okay, so for a very long time you've been a professional. Most people don't become professionals until they're in their 20s, so it makes sense. So you've been a professional for a very long time, but literally, I feel like you're going to go to that plateau, and it's all going to kind of change. Oh, thank you. My guide is telling me that this new venture that you're going to have, this new kind of the beginning of the new thing, is going to be a different kind of music. Something's different.
Yes.
What is it?
Well, I was it's funny you mentioned that. I was recently told by some of my team that I was kind of in the like pop area, the folk pop, because I also play guitar, which is kind of the weird part. And they're saying that country is there's a lot of country managers and people that are really interested in. I'm like, me? Doing country music, but the thing, it's such a broad spectrum now, but they would really, the guitar has always been a problem, because like, well, girls don't play guitar kind of thing, but yes, so I thought that was very interesting, so you picked up on that. Yeah, country music.
Yeah, it's going to be a different kind of music.
I don't care, really. That's so funny.
Yeah, here's the yeah. It's interesting you say you don't care because of course you care greatly, but it's like you see yourself doing the thing. It's almost like what you're doing. This is going to sound so bad, but don't take it this way. It's almost like you're saying it doesn't matter what I do, but I see myself doing something. And I think that's important. You are a very true artist. That's no doubt about that. But it's kind of like your drive and your vision coming back is so clear of where you see yourself. It's kind of like, you know what? Okay, so I'm not wearing a blue suit. I'm wearing a red one. It's okay. It's kind of like that's where you're at. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But you're still true to yourself. You're still true to yourself. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a natural evolution. Once this thing really works itself out, you're going to end up finding a new part of yourself. And I don't know if it's country or not, but it's a different thing than what you do now. For sure. It's different. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a much better version than what you do now. Because it feels like, thank you, and then I'm going to shut up. It feels to me, and my guide is telling me, it's kind of like you've been a little bored. You've kind of been a little like, yeah. And it feels like you need a little in your art, a kick in the pants, a shot of energy somehow. And I think that shifting this record label thing and starting anew is going to make you go, you're going to have a new perspective, I hear. New perspective, and that new perspective is really going to be something that's going to gain a lot of attention. It's good. It's good. And so it's going to... Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I definitely feel like what I was saying, you're off the path and you need to go back to the starting point because of this choice you made. It's definitely, you're done with this label. You're going back to the starting point. But even as you're kind of, getting through all this nitpicky stuff that you have to with the record label and whatever relationship, that you're focusing on that, and that frees things up so that you are back where you need to be, back centered where you are, because you're so, as I said, I see you like seeing the bullseye, and you're so, on target with what you want, right? But instead of like really focusing on that, if you're focusing on what you want to, what you're getting rid of, what you're, this relationship and stuff, that's allowing this freedom, your artistic freedom stuff, to just relax, so you're not focusing so much on that. And then another thing that came up, and all I heard was best of friends. So something about best of friends, and I didn't know if I feel like it's more for you than for Amy, but it's this really simple best of friends. So it's almost like allowing, and this will sound funny, but if like a puppy and a kitten or whatever, where they just have that really simple friendship, and it's not because you're getting something from them, it's whatever, it's just that really simple, loving, best of friends. That's kind of what you need right now, is that, what I'm talking about, just that best of friends, and it's just because you love each other's company, and that's it. That would be really, it's calling you is what it's doing right now. So if there's any way you can make that come to fruition, is there a person, or is there something that you can do to, okay, so that's kind of a, a thing that's calling you right now. Because you're going to make it through all of this, and all of this is happening is actually good because it's freeing up your artistic energy. You're not dwelling on the bullseye. So this, it's just going to come free for, it's going to be this naturally occurring thing, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I totally see, you're totally out of it, and you're totally like, everything that we've said, super goal oriented, and you see the bullseye and you get there. So this way, the bullseye's kind of reshaping itself while you're worried, while you're getting through the legal stuff that you're going to be having, that you're attaining. That artistic stuff is reshaping itself into something maybe you wouldn't have done, which is nice. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Because is there someone named Maureen in your life, or is there a Maureen or a Doreen or something like that? I just kept getting Maureen, Doreen, or is there someone like that? Can you relate to that name? Doesn't matter if you can.
I don't think so. Not right now.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I just kept getting this name, Maureen. Amy, can you relate to that name, Maureen or Doreen? Unmute yourself.
Oh.
Okay.
There. I do follow Doreen Virtue on Instagram, but
Oh.
Yeah, me
too. No, that's interesting. No, it's not that.
Awesome.
I just kept getting this Maureen. I don't understand who that might be.
Maureen.
Well, just you know what? Just hold that. You know, you never know. Sometimes it happens, and then after the show, people are like, "Oh my God, that's my Aunt Maureen," or whatever it is. I have no idea. So I just wanted to say that. Good. Okay.
Should we do questions?
Yeah, this is when we open it up, and whatever you want to ask us, we will check in with Spirit, see if there's anything that we can help you more with that we might not have covered during our reading. Let's go back to Amy first. So, Amy, do you have any questions that you would like us to see if we can tune into?
I would like to know if there's anything that you're getting about my artwork. I have my art on display right now, and I'm kind of teeter-tottering about whether I want to continue doing what I'm doing or if I should go a different direction or just kind of take a break.
Well, I'll tell you this. You have you know, it's kind of like this idea that I was telling you about with the health. It's kind of like, you know, people do like you. They're interested in you. They like that. It just kind of feels a little bit, there feels like there's something not quite right. Like it's kind of like, let me just get this right. And I don't want to say it like this, but let me just say, okay, I'll just say it like this. The art that you're doing, your creative work, some of it is not for the right reasons. You're not you're not following your own intuition enough in your creative work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
There's something results oriented with it that you need to let go of.
Okay.
So rather than thank you. So rather than doing art, I don't think you're doing this completely, but there's an element of that you're doing it for a result instead of the process. Be more in the process of it. I think it's a great thing for you. I think that you have a real high intelligence for sure, and I think that shows in your artwork. And actually, thank you. Oh, that's interesting. I just saw something at the Whitney Museum when I was in New York. It was just it was an amazing piece. But it was a series of photographs of this woman that took of herself, but it also had journal stuff with it about her life, about her own, about her. It's not the subject matter that you would ever do, but it was just a beautiful, haunting, real, vulnerable kind of piece of these series and these ripped pieces of her journal in it. It feels like it's more, if you go more in that direction, that's more vulnerable about your own journey, I think you'll be more satisfied, first of all, and it will gain more, people will go, oh, well, that's interesting. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What I was getting is that it's structured. Like what I see is, you know, this, and I was hearing, actually what I was hearing is it's structured, but then I was seeing like 4 pieces, and you're kind of watching them to see if they're going to sell or if they're going to move or whatever. And really stop watching, and the whole thing, you just need to it's kind of like when I said a long time ago, like 40 minutes ago or whatever, you know, you have this real free spirit. You have, you know, you have this ability, this gentleness and this free spirit that's, when I say uncaring, it's not uncaring, but it's uncaring about what other people think is what it is. So when you let go of that and you just kind of do it, like what Max was saying, for enjoyment, that's when everything flows. So I'm not saying those pieces won't move. Don't watch them. And you don't have to rearrange them or however, like I feel anyhow. Just let that go and let share who you are. So it's unstructured and share who you are.
Okay.
And then whatever happens with whatever those pieces are that I'm saying, who cares? Because you're going to share, like this real warmth is going to come out of you. Like it's actually going to change because there's this real warmth and real loving, and I actually feel you moving into a really loving, joyful phase, like where you start learning all this stuff about yourself, which is really cool. Like a really fun phase where you're like, it's really nice.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll just come back to this really quickly. It definitely is about being raw. It's about being who you are. It's allowing that to show more in your artwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do want to tell you that the health thing is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's strong.
It is strong. Yeah. It is strong. I see you creating food or telling people how to eat, like you were saying, or something like that. Starting a blog. I don't know what it is. That's good.
Okay.
So do both.
Thank you.
Do both.
Okay.
For
sure.
Do
all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ariel, do you have some questions we did not touch on in our reading that you would like Polly or I or both of us to see?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up one thing, and I don't know if it's necessarily a question or just an energy to tune into, but just quickly, before you even knew me at all, and I went on your Periscope, you're the only person I go on Periscope for, but I had gone on yours. I don't know how I found it, and you had said, message me, I have this something that's going on, and you were so spot on. During that time period that I decided to leave my relationship, because you called it like 3 or 4 days before things got really bad, after I freed myself from that situation, on top of this legal stuff I was going with, it was kind of like my whole life that I had known was falling away. I've been working on myself consciously since I was 16, which is kind of when I became clear of my purpose. But in the past month that's been, I have had experiences that I cannot explain. I'm like, I don't really care if I sound crazy, but yesterday.
We're all crazy. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, where I meet specific people and they're not human. Like, it's what's coming through them, and what's going on is not that. There's a energy that's happening in my life where I'm just raising and changing frequencies so fast that I don't know how to explain it, and or what to say about it. But it's like nothing I've experienced. I don't even have words to explain what's been happening, but it's been very overwhelming in a good way, and I was just wondering if you could pick up on anything around that, or anything. It's not really a question.
That has a lot to do with what Polly and I both said about the upheaval. The upheaval. It's like everything is all changing. It's all shifting. It's all. First of all, it's all good. And I think you get that. It's all great. It's all awesome. Yeah. But it's really. This is really asking you to literally like go with the flow. Remember what I was saying earlier? It's like this is really asking you to be like, wow, wait a second. Can I really trust that the universe is going to, bring this energies to me and all of this stuff to me, and seeing it, it's kind of like, it's like this card, the Fool. It's like the beginning of a new adventure. It's the beginning of a new thing, seeing through new eyes. It's like, and that's a beautiful place to be. And, a lot of times, I'll tell you this, Ariel, is your ego will start to come in and go, well, how do I figure it out? Now, what do I do about all this? That's none of your business. You just have to, and that's tough. It's tough, especially, I think all of us here, and I even think that Amy is very, very sensitive to a lot of this stuff too, is that you just have to keep going, well, this is the way it is right now. Well, this is the way it is right now. And when you do that, the more you do that, the more fun it becomes, the more of an adventure it becomes. And, the universe is just waiting for us to, like, take the blinders off and go, oh, well, look there's magic all around. There's magic everywhere. Do you know what I mean, Ariel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So ultimately, my guide's going, just chill, go with the flow. It's all fun, and if it's exciting, it's like this. I'll tell you this: is in the Course of Miracles, it says, miracles are a natural inheritance, and if you're not experiencing miracles on a consistent basis, it's a sign that something's very wrong. So guess what? Something's very right, because your miracle is shift in perceptions and these people coming and all that stuff. That's a miracle. So something is right. Something's going very right for you.
And what I feel about it is when I was talking about things unraveling for you, as things unravel for you, that's when this other energy can come in. So it's really, that's when you start connecting and really seeing things differently. And I'll just say from a personal experience is that it can go through. You can go through these times that are like, I'll just say life-changing. I mean, you'll go through these times where you feel like, oh my God, this can't be any weirder than it is. Or is there anybody else out there that is experiencing this, right? I mean, because, and you go through these times, and then you kind of settle into it, and then you'll have another big thing happen, So, I think I did say something, like get ready for big events. So for you, I also feel like you need to listen to this whole tape recording again, the show again, because I feel like some of the messages pertaining to this exact question are going to be addressed in what was said earlier, okay? Because this is a big thing for you, and this unraveling and these moments of change or noticing your change. Listen to the messages, because I feel like even in the prayer that I did before we even started, so just re-listen, because all of that stuff, you'll probably get something from it. Because this really is a big, meaningful, it's a really, eventful time for you. Things are opening up, for sure.
All right, so we're going to wrap up here. So thank you, Ariel, so much. I hope that you gained some value from our talk and the messages today.
Very much. Thank you.
Good. And thank you, Amy, so much, too.
Thank you.
So great to have you here.
And Amy, I want to tell her about the Ojai Marathon. Have you heard of the Ojai Marathon?
It sounds familiar, sort of.
It starts in Ojai and it ends down by the beach. Anyhow, Max is going to do it. I'm doing a fundraiser for 2 charities. I have one right now it'll be a fundraiser for Compassionate Farms. So it's May 29th. If you're training for a marathon and you want to do a summer marathon, join us on that one.
Okay, thank you.
May
I've never
29th.
done one. So. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, well, perfect timing.
Well, we're gonna run it. I'm not running the whole thing. I'm not running the whole thing. So just so you know, and I think that that Polly's gonna walk the whole thing. So
I am. I used to run. I've done I think 7 or 8 of them, but I can't run anymore. But walking's fabulous.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
So that's great. So thank you so much for being here. And everyone that's watching right now, if you would like to be in the positions of Ariel and Amy, please email us at info@attractpositiveresults.com, info@attractpositiveresults.com. And if you can be available at this time on Thursdays from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, well, 2:30 to 4 o'clock Pacific time, then we might be able to choose you to be on our panel with us, and we will deliver divine messages to you. So that is info@attractpositiveresults.com, and we will get back to you. So that's the first thing. And we are here every single week, same time, unless something happens, then we have to cancel it. But we usually unless something happens, But pretty much every single week we're here. So it's great to have you all, and I hope that some of the messages that were for our wonderful women today, I hope that they helped you in some form. And if you are interested in more of what I do, you can go to attractpositiveresults.com, and also I am on Periscope 2 to 3 times a day, morning meditations at 7 a.m., Then we do a law of attraction work at 9 a.m. And then we do an intuitive reading game, usually later in the evening. So it's a lot of fun. You can follow me, and I need a little graphic for that, at Max Ryan Coach. And actually, Ariel found me there, and Amy, right? No, Amy, how did you find us?
I found you from a podcast with Tara Voskamper.
Oh, yeah. I love Tara. That's awesome. That's great. So you can follow me that way. And listen, I pray that the divine messages today helped all of you. And we'll see you next week. Polly, what would you like to say to all of our wonderful viewers?
So October 23rd, Max and I will be doing this live in Venice, California, in a very cool venue, and we love the venue. We've been there once, and it was such a phenomenal time, so we're doing it again. And you can either go to my website, which is gateways2peace.com, or Max's website, attractpositiveresults.com, and get more information on it. I believe you can buy tickets through Max's site right now, and it's pretty intimate. We could take 25 people, but it's really cool. I mean, the one that we did, our first event that we did there, probably one of my favorites.
For sure. It's a beautiful space in Venice, and it's a very much an energy-shifting evening, and then you give messages, and it's actually a very beautiful night. So
it was awesome.
That'd be great. So. All right. So anything else, Polly?
No. If anybody wants to know more about me or get a reading, gateways2peace.com with the number 2.
All right.
And I do Periscope also, but on a smaller scale.
I do it on a massive scale. All right, everyone. We pray that you will listen and hear your divine messages until we see you next week, same time, same place, same bat channel. That's old school. All right. Take care, everyone. We love you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.